Hello and welcome. This is Alicia of the Chardon Sign Shack coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. As you're hopping on, please say hello and welcome. Make sure to comment there so I know comments are up and working. I hope everything's going to work okay today. I'm not 100% sure. We had issues the last two lives, so here's hoping. But as I said, as you're hopping on, please say hello and let me know if you're watching this live or on replay. I'm just waiting here a couple minutes. Hi Bonnie, how are you? How are you? And welcome. Thank you. Hi Becky. I'm gonna slide this off my comments over here now that I know that they're working. So if I'm going to say this ahead of time, and I'll probably say it a couple of times as people are hopping on, if we have issues again and I can't, like with buffering or whatever, I'll just start over again like I have the last couple times. Hi Jarita, hi Judy. I'm sorry that's happened. I don't know what's going on. Hi Sandy, hi April. We haven't had any internet issues here, so I don't know. I did speak to someone the day of my last live. I'm in a group, and they said that she had buffering her whole live. They were having lots of problems. So I don't know what's going on. So hopefully we'll get through this. If not, I will just start over, and April will share it to the group and probably the Stencil Smith page, and then it'll be on my Chardon Sign Shack page as well. So I'm sorry, I hope it doesn't happen this time because it's really inconvenient. But hello everyone, hi Dorothy. Glad you're doing good, Bonnie. I hope you're continuing to get better. So today we have two stencils, and they're kind of like that retro vibe that I like so much. That's my favorite. Hi Carol, hi Jarita. And these are the ones that are going to be on sale today. So they're 10371 and 10390. And they're both mediums that I'm using. Hi Donna. Oh, got to an hour. See? Okay, that must be what they're doing now. I don't know if they want you to shorten your lives. That may become a problem. So, because mine take longer than an hour. So these are the ones, they are on sale. This is the code Sign Shack. I'm glad to know that wasn't just me, Judy. A couple people said they were having awful trouble. So it's SIGNSHACK. And make sure to sprinkle out. The prize today is going to be this beautiful stencil. And it's called A Soul Full of Sunshine. It's really cute. So look how cute that is. Love that. Soul Full of Sunshine. And that is going to be stencil number 8134, and it's a small. So, hey, hi Sherry. Yep, I like all things retro. Hi Arlene. So this is the one that's going to be for sprinkling. So make sure to sprinkle. Make sure to write sprinkled in the comments. So, and you can use Sign Shack to save the 15% on that, and then on anything else as well that you buy. So not just that. I'm going to make one of my wooden garden flags. I'm going to angle you down, and we're just going to get started because I'm really paranoid about, Judy just said, another creator she was watching, it seemed like after they got past the hour mark that they had a lot of issues buffering and stuff. So I have painted this. This is a 1x12, and I've cut it 16 inches long. Hi Susan, hi Vicki. Thank you for sprinkling, Sandy. And I'm just going to give it a light sand here with wrapping with craft paper that came in my Amazon box, which I get a lot of those. It just smooths it out a little bit, and it doesn't take any of the paint off. And I'm just going to kind of wipe it. So this paint is Fusion Mineral. So again, this is a 1x12 that I've cut 16 inches long. And it has, I've already pre-drilled the holes up here. So there's 2 holes, and I pre-drill them 3 inches on center. And these do work with, hey Julie, how are you? These do work with the garden flags, but you have to make sure you have really good ones. I get mine either at Home Depot or Walmart. And the Home Depot ones, and this is what it means to sprinkle if you don't know what it means. And like I said, this is the giveaway today, So Full of Sunshine. So we're gonna get started. I've cut it 16 inches. I'm gonna grab, this is Fusion Mineral Azure, and it's a really pretty like turquoise color. And it's one of my favorites. I use this a lot with Tuscan in conjunction with Fusion Mineral Tuscan. Oranges and blues go really good together. They're complementary colors. So they look really nice together. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of colors today. I think we'll start with Hello Sunshine. So we're going to start, I'm going to take my little smiley face off and set it to the side and put my stencil on it. Let me make sure I'm in the camera. Let's see here. Ooh. Probably better. Okay, there we go. So this is a little, usually I cut them 16 inches. It's about a 1/2 inch short, but this is a cutoff that I had, and I want to make sure I have the holes at the top that I've already drilled. And I'm going to get a 1/2 inch. I might even go with a 5/8. These are big chunky letters. And I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to do, I think white and Tuscan. So let me get some color out here. So this is Deco Arts. Thank you, Lynn. I'm really, really sorry what has happened the last couple weeks. I do think it is a Facebook issue, not a me issue. And a lot of people have been having problems. Now, I don't have anywhere to tape this down. So I'm going to get a scrap piece of wood here. And it's the same thickness, and I'm just butting it up against it. So I have something to tape it onto, so it's not shifting all over the place as I paint it. And I always tape it down with painter's tape. Let's see here. And I don't normally use that long a tape, but since this is the only place I can have it, and I've centered this, so we're good to go. So I'm going to get my brush, and if you're new to stenciling, hi Sandy, how are you? What we do is we pick up a little bit of color with our brush, and this, again, this is a 5/8 brush, and the Stencil Smith brushes are the absolute best. So I can't recommend them any more than, like, they're just amazing. So you can see, if you're new, you just get it on the tip there. It might be a little like globby there, and we're gonna offload. So just offload a little bit. You want a dry brush so you can see where it's a little bit drier, like that. And we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna start stenciling. And I'm gonna do the H. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do hello in white. And I feel like I'm really on a like timeline here now because everybody says it's been buffering over an hour. So let's do the hello. And I'm probably just gonna have this in Tuscan and white. So white, orange, and blue. So if you don't have a color wheel, I was gonna show you, this is a really great thing to have. So I know this, I've used this color combo lots of times, but you can, this is just one of them, but you can spin them and it'll tell you like blue and orange, they're complementary colors. So blue and orange. And then it'll tell you the split complementary, a triad, like the ones you could use with it. I schedule, and this is a really nice one. I think I got this on Amazon probably. But if you, I think on one side it shows you like if you add white to orange, adding blue to red, orange. So if you want to custom your colors, but it's a really, really great, it is. Did you guys get any snow in like the Columbus area? We got another 12 plus inches. My sister Heather's here and she's like, oh my gosh, so we're going to go snowshoeing on Sunday. And I think I'll have this, let's see, that's going to be orange. So I'm going to have one of these flowers white, and that one I'm going to do white, this little flower that we're using for the dots on the eye. And this guy here too, this big flower, I'm going to make him white. But I wanted something fun and happy. It's been so gray. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Lynn. It's been challenging the last couple weeks. I almost went live this weekend. I was going to, because I was so nervous about today, like losing, I don't know where my little baggie is. So when you're in between, you can take your brush and put it in a baggie and just zip it, and that keeps it nice and fresh. So we'll go to the Tuscan, and this is Fusion Mineral as well. I love Deco Arts and I love Fusion Mineral. Deco Arts has way more colors to choose from, but there are some Fusion Minerals colors that I just absolutely love. So I'm going to get another big brush here, 5/8. I don't use these very often, but this is a good size. And again, I'm going to offload, and I'm going to do this one and that one in Tuscan, and let's do the sunshine in that Tuscan. But these are such happy colors, and it's so gray here. Facebook has been doing strange things. Well, that's good to know. Like I said, I did everything I could on my end. I checked the speeds on my internet. We haven't had any problems at all when we watch, you know, multiple devices. My dad will be watching something in his room, and Jeff and I will have something in our room. And then sometimes if Brody's over, we have an old PlayStation in another room, and he'll go and play PlayStation for a while. So we'll have a lot of devices going at the same time, and phones and stuff like that. But I think it is a Facebook thing. I think they're trying to force us into shorter lives, and that's just not good. Thank you, Denise. Oh, during nap time. Nap time's got to be so great, Bronwyn. I know. I love my grandson. He's 6. He's in kindergarten. And let me tell you, when he's here, I think, oh my gosh, I can't even. And the other two weren't like that. And my kids were certainly not like that. He's just a fireball. And I think of teachers like you, Bronwyn, like, going the whole day. I'm like, wow. You have that stencil in your cart? Well, it is on sale today and tomorrow, Bronwyn. I love this one. I saw this and I was like, ooh, I want to do that for a live. We always go off of each other. You know, April will be like, is there anything you're wanting to do? And she'll have some ideas and I'll have some ideas, and we go back and forth. And this was definitely one. And it was funny, she knew the minute the other one that I'm going to make, the little wreath with the peace sign in it. April and I have very similar tastes, you know, things like that. And I'm like, yes, we have to do this for a live. And we were worried it'd be too short. So here I am adding another side to it. So this will be a double-sided garden flag. But we just did melt all of our snow. Like seriously. We finally had it all melted by, I think, Friday. And we had some nice temps. Like it almost got up to 60, I believe, one day. And, well, then we got another foot of snow. And I was really surprised, even Heather was, because she came up on Sunday. She comes up about once a month to hang out with my dad and give me a little bit of a break, you know, with like his meals and caring for him stuff, which if you're a caretaker or you have a caretaker in your life, if you haven't done it and you have the ability to help somebody, be like, hey, can I, you know, take this person to the doctor, or could I, you know, maybe make some meals, or do you want to go somewhere and I'll do this, or do it, because it is amazingly, how much do you have, Judy? We have well over a foot. We didn't get anything like the Northeast got. We're still considered like, even though we're Northeast Ohio, we're considered the Midwest. So, let me find my little baggie here. She is good. She took a sabbatical from Facebook for a couple months, Sherry, at Christmas, and she enjoyed it so much that she decided she was going to do like a forever sabbatical. So she closed down her personal page and her business page. And she said she gets a lot more stuff done, which I know to be true. Like, I'm trying very hard not to be on it. Like, I go on the morning to try and answer people and in the evening, but it does take a lot of your time. So, yeah, I miss having her on Facebook too. This, oh no, it's a wet wipe. It's a wet wipe, Cindy. You could put a damp paper towel in there, certainly. So, yes, it really does help if you can, I mean, make a meal, do something. I'm telling you. And if it wasn't for my sister, and my husband helps an awful lot. My son's, you know, across the country, so he can't help. And my daughter has 3 kids, so, and she works full time, so it's hard for her to help. But if you can help a caregiver, even just visiting the person, like, I don't think people realize, like after my mom died and then my dad moved in with us and his health got significantly worse. Like, he can't go anywhere unless we take him somewhere. And I don't think people realize that what a toll that takes on a person, you know, and how small their world becomes when they can't leave the house. So he still has a really good friend who stops by that was our neighbor when I was growing up. And he comes by at least once a week and hangs out with him. And he has a buddy that he worked with that comes by and calls him every single day. My dad says he just listens to him, but it's company. And then he has a buddy from Vietnam that he was in Vietnam with that calls him and visits occasionally, but he's in North Carolina, so it's not like an everyday thing. And I have cousins that are really great, his first cousins. But it's such a nice, I know. You're getting those finished? I will, Judy. I'll tell Heather, everybody. Yeah, the wet wipe's a great tool to have. It could be an eraser if you make a mistake and you can get it off before it dries. So like if you get a bleed or something like that, you can do that. I'm going to give this a quick dry here. I'm going to do one more coat because this is very patchy still and I want it just a little bit more vibrant. And it's just a great tool to have in your arsenal, wet wipes. I keep them on hand all the time. Yes, I agree, Becky. Thank you, Becca. I'll tell everybody that everybody misses. Oh yeah, we needed that one more coat of white. But I'm going to do very similar colors on... It's funny because this morning I started out with totally different colors in my head. And then by the time I got my my everything prepped, you know, cut and sanded and prepped, I had talked myself out of it and into something else. So I was going to go for this one with like a taupe color, a black with taupe over it and orange and turquoise, this azure, but then I changed my mind. So yeah, wet wipes are great to have by. These are shop towels. Oh, this might be it, or the warm white. These are shop towels that I'm offloading onto. Now you can offload onto pretty much anything that's absorbent, but those are my favorite because you can really, you get a lot of bang for your buck with shop towels. I've showed people before, but like when I get this outside done, I'll be able to kind of do this and pull it apart and fold it in fours and use the inside. So they go like a long way. Shop towels are a little more expensive, but they do last a long time. Always changing colors. Me too, Judy. And when it's more than like 3 or 4, oh, like that one last week, the dragonfly stained glass, that was a lot of colors. That was a lot of brushes, let me tell you. Get these flowers again. But it was fun. Hi, Renee, how are you? I love the, so make sure to sprinkle if you're just hopping on. This is right here, So Full of Sunshine. Right there, that's the giveaway. It's really cute. And I know we're all hoping for some sunshine. Okay, so let's get one more coat of the orange on. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. I am in love with that dragonfly. I was gonna make that into a garden flag and put it outside, but I may have to make another one because I liked it so much. I ended up, we have a laundry room that is right up of our garage and we walk right into it. And we have some butcher blocks set up in there, like a nice folding table and cabinets and stuff. We just did that a couple years ago. And I got motion lights in there, and so I put it right underneath the motion lights on my butcher block counter leaning against the shiplap wall, and it looks so pretty when you walk in. And the motion lights turn on and light it up. My sister, Heather, she was blown away with it when she came in. She's like, oh, it looks so good. You got over a foot of snow too? Yep. Thank you, Sue, for sprinkling. This snow, this has been, I know a couple of weeks ago, our typical snowfall, I think, is like around 119, 120 inches. Like for a season, we were at 120 inches already. So I would have to say we're probably inching up to 140 inches for the season. And it looks like we're going to get 45-ish, close to 50, maybe Friday and Saturday. So it'll melt or partially melt, and then we're getting another round coming through. So that's no fun. So I don't normally do 3 coats, but that definitely needed the 3 coats. And I want to do the little daisies there with a 3rd coat of orange. And I'm going to pull this up. Oh, I love it. Look at that. How cute is that? Is that not pretty? Okay, so let's get the tape off. And I am going to grab the little middle, and we're going to put orange in here. We're going to do orange for the middle here. This Tuscan, that's what it's called. Yep, it's payback. That's right. This is what I call an old-fashioned winter. Like the stuff when Heather and I were talking about that today when we grew up. Like you didn't see the ground from like October until, oh my goodness. It was a long time. Long time. Give it a quick dry there. If you're new to stenciling, you don't, thank you, Judy, you don't want to stencil over wet paint, because if this was still wet, it would just move the paint around and it would leave like a bald spot, is how I like to put it. So we got that cute little and I think I'm gonna put some little dots. I'm not gonna close these bridges here. I'll do that after the live. I'm worried we're gonna like hit that mark of an hour and they're gonna start buffering me. Okay, so we got the little smiley face. So let me get some black out. Actually, I want to get some black. Get a little brush and get a little black. Black, where are you? There we go. Sometimes when I'm just taking a bit, 60s, 70s. Oh, I've been to Texas. I've never been to Austin. I would love to get to Austin. I have a nephew who lives there, and it just looks like a really cool area. Yeah, I think this will be really bright and pretty outside. So I'm just gonna, and I'm just lightly swirling when I stencil. I'm not doing any real pushing down with my brush. You just want to lightly swirl, because your brush can go up under the stencil if you're pushing down really hard. So let's pull this up, and I am going to, let's see, I'm going to do some dots on this. I already know that. So let me get my dotting tool or my stylus. No, you can't have too many brushes. You cannot. So let's get a big dotter. And I think on this H, let me get him out of the way over here. Let's do like, and if I have time, but if not, I'm going to go back and close these bridges. And you could just do one. You got to be careful with this, that you don't put your hand in the paint. But I'm just dipping my little stylus in there, and I like to do things in threes. Things look better in odd numbers. Okay, and while I got it out, I'm going to do a couple little dots. Yeah, I'm going to flip it over actually and do the smaller one, because the stylus are different sizes. I think I'm going to do 5. I feel like I need 5. Just kind of wonky. Oops, see, I just put my hand in that. They're not dry because they're a little bit raised. So that's where you want to get your wet wipe. Remember how I said wet wipes are great? So you take that and wipe it off just like magic. And make sure my hand's dry. Want to add 2 more dots there. And they do end up being different sizes, because the more you press it, like the first one, of course, is bigger. And then they get a little bit smaller. I want to do those ones just a little bit bigger right there. Okay. And I want to do some white dots. She's missing all this wind. I know, the dots make me happy too. So I want to get, let me wipe this off real good. And sometimes it's like, ooh, did I go too far with the dots? But it's like, it just adds a little something. And some people just do it like maybe on the first letter. You know, you might do it just on the first letter. You can also do that. But I'm going to do all of them. I'm feeling very dotty today. And there's like no, you know, like I'm not lining them up or anything like that. Yeah, that one's at an angle. I'm trying not to put my hand in it. Yep. Come on, baby. Okay, and let's get a little bit more paint and do the E here. And I will have to dry all these dots before I flip it over. Oops, I want to get the smaller end of the dotting tool and just do some dots in there. And how cute is that? Simple, easy peasy. I'm feeling very dotty today. I am. It's a dotty kind of day. Ask Jeff. He might agree with you. You know what? This one down here is going to make me crazy. So I would just take my wet wipe and wipe that on out of there. Because it just went too large. That was too big a dot. So I'm going to put another one there. That's better. That one I would have regretted after it. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, I love the dots. So the dots just, I don't know, they make me happy. So let's give the dots, I'm going to have to give them a dry here for a minute. So as I'm drying, make sure if you have not, I probably should have waited to do the dots until like the last thing. Make sure to sprinkle. This is the giveaway today, and put sprinkled in the comments. And we're going to flip it over and we're going to do another fun live. But I got to dry these dots first. And if for some reason this starts thank you, Judy. If for some reason the dotting tool is like one of the best tools you can have. I have them in all sizes. I have these kinds. I have a little, there's also another one you can buy. I don't use it as much. I don't know why. I usually tend to grab these. But this, you can order this. I've got them all on Amazon. But this has all different sizes on it. So you could keep it all on. I don't know. I can't stop. And sometimes I'm like, ooh, you know, is it a dot too far? You just never know. You just don't know. So let me tell you a little bit, if you're new, about the Stencil Smith. So do you like this? Do you like this color combo? Oh, thank you, Susan. Yeah, it's something different. Something totally, you know, different. I think it's very happy, very retro, like 50s looking. Hi, Janet. You could also do like a real pretty poppin' pink on this, like a hot pink. And that would look very like 50s, 60s retro, I think. You know, that turquoise and pink that was so popular. Oh, the giveaway number. We need it posted. The giveaway number is 8134, and this is a small. I have almost every single retro one that the Stencil Smith offers. I love anything retro. I guess at my age, I consider that I'm retro too. Just give it another minute here, guys. They're just a little tacky. I just want to make sure they are dry. They're real close. I don't want to smear them all over, because they are a little raised, so it does take a little bit longer to dry sometimes. but I think we're going to be good here. So I should have done this last, but I didn't. But I really like that. I was going to do all the letters in orange, but then I got to thinking about it and I thought I wanted the hello to be in white. Okay, I think that is pretty good. Yeah, that's good. And I'm going to flip this over. Whoops, almost lost my board to support my stencil. And we are going to work on the peace sign. And this, again, is painted azure. I dropped a roll of, oh, there it is. My roll of tape went rolling across the floor. Okay, so let's get, and I know I have more people on, and I know the people that are on have heard me say this. But first of all, both of these stencils are on sale today and tomorrow. And I was practicing with greens. I finally narrowed the green down and it ended up being like a teal, so. And we're not going to do orange letters. I didn't like that, so. Let me get that. So this has two pieces, so it has an overlay for it, and it's real easy to just pop it on there. I like to say overlays are like little puzzle pieces. They are awesome. And again, I'm taping this because I don't have anywhere to tape to. This board is a little shorter than I would have normally cut it, but it was a scrap and I didn't. I'm like, it's so close that I am going to use it. So we're going to tape this down here and I'm going to do white flowers. So let's get our white brush out again. Hopefully this brush isn't too big. I may have to get another brush, darn it. And if you have brushes, if you haven't purchased the Stencil Smith brush cleaner and little heart scrubby, put these in your cart. They are amazing. They save you a lot of time cleaning your brushes, and that brush cleaner really moisturizes them and keeps them really nice. So I'm gonna do all my flowers in white. Thank you, Judy. Oh, thank you, Winnie. Yeah, I got to thinking, I thought, you know what, I want this to be like really like retro looking colors. There was a lot of turquoise, a lot of pinks, like all those colors. And then you could totally make this a totally different vibe, real earthy kind of vibe. But I thought it's going to hang out together, so we're just going to keep it color combo for a double-sided flag. And this was, the garden flags were my bestseller at the craft show this year. And so I am going to put a little bit more warm white out there. Let's see if I can get a little bit more out of this guy. I don't know. Let's see, warm white, warm white. Here we go. Oh, I haven't even opened that one. Okay, give me a minute here. I got to get a razor knife and hopefully it's not all. Okay, so we're going to get some more warm white out. I hope everybody had a nice weekend. We had our, I think we had our grandson too. No, we didn't have him Friday. So Friday we had a quiet night. It was unusual not to have a grandkid. And then I think Saturday I went for a big walk. I think it was nice here Saturday, and then Sunday the weather turned. Was it Saturday? No, maybe it was Friday the weather turned. It was Friday because I think I went for a long walk on Friday and it was like 55 when I started out, and by the time I got done with the walk it was like an hour walk. I'm just going to give this a good shake because it's been sitting there. Oh, thank you, Denise. Yeah, they're awesome. They sold really good at our fall sale. People loved them. I sell the hangers with them too, Lita. I do. I put them on the hanger, and people are actually surprised. We sold them, I think we sold them for $45 with the hanger, and people were shocked when I told them they could take the hanger. Oh, I want to do the words in white. So let's go down here. And they were really surprised at and you know, you have to figure your cost and your time and all that stuff in it, but it seemed like a good price point, and people were really pleased, and it was different. Nobody else had anything like that at the nobody else had anything like that at the craft show. What I did see, which I don't a lot of, was like that laser cut wood, and I don't like that. There was a lot of that going on. But like, I feel like what we had really was different to offer, and a lot of that was due to April and Pete's designs. Like the stained glasses, I get my hangers at Walmart or Home Depot. And the actual hangers, where are they? Got two out, which I pre-grill the holes, but these are the actual clips that whoops. Okay. These are the actual clips right here. So, and you screw them in and they clip right on the post. And the only thing I ever recommend, and I always tell anybody, oh, and this is the color that I'm using for the green, is Mystic Teal. Really pretty. And so we're going to use this as our green on the leaves. I forgot to tell you that. And we used this last week on the, now this is kind of translucent, so we're probably going to have to do 3 coats on these leaves. And I tried a lot of you can see the different greens I was trying, and this one went really good, this teal with this like aqua color. That's half the battle, finding your colors. But I think I was saying, I always recommend when I sell them to anybody, and I forget myself, if it's really heavy winds, to take your flags down, because that wood is so heavy, it will bend the flagpole. But that being said, you can usually just, hi Tammy, how are you? You can usually just like straighten it up and it's fine. I've got some really old flagpoles that they're getting a little, where I've had to straighten them up so many times, where I have to put a rock. You can also put a rock like in front of one of them or something like that. But they hang really good. It's just if you get the high winds and bend it, you can bend it right out. But I do recommend people, if you're selling them, just to recommend that they take them down when the winds are bad, because it will bend your flagpole. Oop, I might have bled on that one. I don't think now you want to make sure you offload good. Yeah, I kind of bled a little bit there. You almost know, if you start doing this and you've done it for a while, you almost know when you put your brush down and you're like, darn it. And it's going to be okay. It's nothing you can't clean up. I think these are leaves here. Pretty sure. But I thought this was so pretty when I saw it. I was like, oh. I love anything like that. And the peace sign. Universal, very 70s. Very 70s. Offloading is definitely your best friend. Hi, Denise. How are you? So make sure as you're hopping on to Sprinkle and write Sprinkled in the comments. You'll be entered to win that really pretty little Soul Full of Sunshine. Okay. And so we've got our white and our green. So we're gonna get our baggie and we're gonna go back and do our white again. And we're probably gonna have to do 3 coats of each of these. We're doing pretty good. We're at a quarter till. And I've got a lot of you on here. If you're, yeah, you can fix a lot of stuff with a wet wipe or with a little toothpick or a liner brush. The Stencil Smith has some excellent liner brushes as well as stencil brushes. All their brushes are hands down. My favorite is the rake brush. The rake brush is such a cool thing for, like we're in Easter for bunny fur, beards, chick fur, or chick feathers. You could do that with an angle brush or a rake brush or both. Lots of times I use the angle brush first because it gives it just a little bit of where you've stenciled it, like softens it there. So if you're new to the Stencil Smith, they have been around for 20 years this year. I'm not sure what month is their 20th year anniversary. They have over 10,000 stencils. They have multiple sizes. Like this is a medium. Both the stencils I'm using today are a medium. And they are just, they have multiple sizes. They're cut to order. And if a size doesn't work for you, they can always work with you to make a different size if you need a special size. April and Pete are just the bomb. They're a small company, husband and wife team, based here in my state of Ohio. And they just have wonderful customer service. They cut everything to order. You don't have to wait for it to be shipped in. Everything's made in the USA. Everything is awesome. So let's get the green again, and we're going to do the green. Hi, Janet. How are you? Thank you for sprinkling. Yes, and their stencils, Judy has a very good point. Their stencils are always, always in stock. They are never out of stock. Never, ever. Because they are cut to order. They make them right there. And April, excuse me, I was talking too fast. I think for my lips. April and Pete do the designing as well. As you know, Pete does those beautiful stained glass stencils. And he is going to be working on some new ones here pretty soon. I know I'm not going to do any spoilers. They're going to be a surprise, but some new designs. But they are just so popular and they're so different. And if you shade them just right, and I like to use that polyacrylic on them when they're done, and it gives it kind of a glass appearance. Really, really pretty. Yes, the customer service is the best. They're wrapped in beautiful tissue paper. Cold here in PA. It's cold here in Ohio too, Janet. Not much difference. I can't believe I ever complained about my hot, humid summer. Like, I'm a summer girl and I love heat, but the humidity really got to me this summer. It was the most humid summer on record. It wasn't just in my head. My husband will tell me, that's just in your head. It's like, no, this one wasn't in my head. It's on record. But I do miss the, I'd give anything for that right now. I'm tired of the snow. Okay, let's do this one. We're probably going to have to dry it and do one more quick coat here. And again, there's more people on, and you might not have been on at the beginning. I've had issues the past couple of times with buffering over an hour. Well, they are all true, April. We all mean the words. You guys are the best. And I feel like here when we join each other, even if you're new, you're welcome. And I feel like kind of a little family here. You too, Judy? Yes. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do a second coat on my words. But it's such a nice little group. Everybody's so kind and helpful. And if you are new and you haven't, you have to, Lita. They are so much fun. They're really a lot of fun. They're amazing. I know my sister, she came in today, and I have my Santa one here because I am going to send it to my son and his fiance, but I haven't yet. And she said she just walked in the door and she's like, oh my gosh, just like the dragonfly. She's like, it just is so beautiful. So let me get a second coat on these words here, because I did forget to, I think I forgot to do a second coat on them. And I'm just swirling on here. I'm offloading and swirling, lightly swirling. Okay. And I'm going to give this, the white's pretty dry. I'm just going to go over this white real quick one more time. These little flowers here. White can be hard to cover sometimes. Just real quick. And I am going to give it a dry, and I'm going to do one more coat of this green. And then I'm going to do a little shading of this green. I need to do one more coat of that white down here too, I think. Okay. Do one more coat of white down here on the letters. Get some really popping. Letters there. And this green is a little patchy. It's like a little translucent. So I'm going to do one more coat just to get it good. And we're going to do a little bit of shading with this citron green. So if for some reason this video cuts out like they have been, a little over an hour, if I cannot get it to reconnect, which I have not been able to, I will start over again. It will be available on my page. April will share it again. And on, on the Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith and the Stencil Smith page. And I did patch the two last week together and then put it on my YouTube channel. So the whole thing is together on the dragonfly one on that. So because that's another thing that they have started doing, they start deleting lives after so after 30 days, where before they were on there forever. So it was nice because people would be like, hey, you did that stained glass Santa, and I can't find the video. Can you show it to me? And I'll just look for it and I'm able to send it to them. But now I can't do that. I mean, I can do it. It's on YouTube. I have a lot of really old ones I'm trying to get on there, but I'm trying to do the new ones as I go. So yeah, this color definitely needed a third coat. Yeah, shading will make it really pop. Buy them what they suggest. Yes, that is so awesome. I have a constant cart going. I know a lot of you girls do. Like all the time. I like to drink my coffee in the morning, see if April's put anything new on. And then sometimes there's a really nice oldie that makes an appearance that I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have that one. And for some reason, I have never seen it. But when there's like over 10,000 stencils, you can miss a lot. Like there was one, I think it was Nancy Adams did, and she shared it in the Paint and Share, and it was so pretty. It was that bunny, and it was laying, I think, on its back or its side. I can't remember how it was laying, and it had little stitching in it, and I'm like, I have to have that one, and I'd never seen it before, and that was an older one. Like you can tell by the numbers, because they're in numerical order. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of shading. So we did that teal. So let's do a little bit of shading on the leaves. And I tried a bunch of colors too for the shading. I'm going to give it a quick little dry here. She probably does, right? Thank you, Angelia. That's the first thing you do every morning, Judy? Me too. Whoop. I just want to make sure it's dry. And I'm going to get a little bit of this Citron Green out. This is Deco Arts Citron Green. And probably if you had like Sprout or Margarita, they're all very similar Deco Arts colors. They would probably work good. And I'm trying to decide what size brush. I think I'm going to get a 3/8. And like I said, if you're new to stenciling and you're trying to build up like your stencil brushes and stuff, every time you order. So I'm going to offload this onto my shop towel. And I'm just going to do a little bit of shading around with this green. And it looks really pretty with this teal. And I'll show you something else that I did, and it's really easy to do. I'm not going to do it on this. At this point, I'm paranoid. You know, you could do it on a couple of them. I might do it on a couple of them about the live just stopping for more testing. Oh my goodness, Lita, you will be in my prayers. I knew your sibling was fighting. I didn't realize it was your twin. I hope everything turns out well for you and your sister. Being a twin must have been fun. Are you identical or fraternal? Okay, let's do some more shading. And again, it's like I'm just like laying it down in a couple different areas, you know, offloading. It's just brightening it a little bit, making it look a little dimensional. And if you wanted to make this kind of folk arty looking, you could add some things to the leaves, which I will show you that I did on a, because sometimes when I do lives, if I'm not sure which direction I'm going with colors, I'll fool with them. But it's kind of, I need a little bit more. Thank you, Donna. Oop. I end up with more paint on me. I'm so sad. I was staining today and I got stain on my sweatshirt and I couldn't get it out. I should know. I don't know what is wrong with me not to wear nice clothes. I mean, it's a sweatshirt, but it's one of my favorite pretty sweatshirts. My sister got it for me just for no reason. Or no, maybe she got it for me for my birthday. Sometimes she does things for no reason, so I can't. Like right now, she's up here and she's building a pull-out laundry basket for my bathroom that she just helped my husband lay the floor for last time she was here. She loves doing stuff like that. And she has the best ideas. When she got done with the floor, she was looking at it and she's like, hey, I'm building one of these for myself. What do you think? And I'm like, heck yeah. Because Heather has some good ideas. And she's very kind. and shares them, shares her talents. Okay, I'm just going back over just a little bit on some of these that I want a little. And like I said, there's like no, but this really makes it look kind of dimensional. And I think I'm even gonna take my little, I'm gonna do orange dots for the flowers, but I think she does beautiful work. Oh, I'm nervous, Judy. It was a little over an hour last time, and that's when it started buffering. So if it starts buffering, if I can't reconnect, I'll be back. So I'm getting this orange, and I'm just gonna do like the edges. Just a wee little bit. I think. And they'll have little orange centers. And when you do that, that dry brushing, this is kind of a big brush for this area to be getting the edges, but it's already dirty. And although that cleaner and the heart scrubby makes it easier, I do not like cleanup. It was funny, my sister was out here working in the garage, and she was showing Jeff her router tricks, and he was cleaning up after, and she's like, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, don't worry, he does that because I'm messy when I'm in the garage crafting and stuff like that. And so I'm just doing the edges there, and you can even add a little dash of like orange into your leaves if you want. Just like the dashiest little dash along with the green. I think it would be pretty. And if you noticed, I haven't put any paint on my brush. I'm just using up what's left. I don't think I got that one. Okay, so we're gonna pull this. Ooh, I like it. Oops, there goes the lid. Darn it, I knew I was too close to the edge. Okay, guys. What do you think so far? Do you like it? And we're gonna get our little overlay, which is this, and I'm not, in the color? Okay, I don't know if I'm understanding. I might have asked before, do you always dry brush in the color or white? I'm not sure I understand that correctly. It just depends. Sometimes I might float some color. Dry brushing is easier and quicker, and you already have your stencil brushes out. So let's line this up, and you can see I've lined it up with the peace sign, and I'm gonna get some Tuscan. Oh, I dropped everything, girls. Okay, I don't need this now. Got scraps everywhere. Okay. The color I'm using. So I did white first. So if that was a dark colored flower, yeah. Base coating, if you're base coating like over a dark color, I like to use gray rather than white, because white can kind of peek out. I need just a little bit more Tuscan. White can peek out of the edges. It shows more. Gray is a little more subtle, and it doesn't show quite the way white does. As far as like dry brushing a color over it, It just depends. So if it's a darker color, I might do a light color, like I did light color there, or a bright color. A color I often use to give things a little pop and make it look like it's glowing is Deco Art's Moon Yellow. That, I'll get my quiet. That one is really, really, that's a really nice color that just makes it look like it's kind of glowing. But if you're talking about base coating, I usually base coat if it's a dark color in gray. Oops, I think I might have got orange. I don't know, I can't see myself, but I think I got orange all over my lips. We'll see when I do the camera back up. I hope I didn't. That'll look awful goofy. But I got paint everywhere. So let's do one more coat of these little, the little centers of the flower. And again, I am just lightly swirling. I'm not pushing down super hard. It's just real light. And you'll feel if your brush needs more paint, it'll start getting a little draggy. Okay, I think that's gonna be super cute, I think. I forget what they're called, but I will post them after the live. If she's talking about highlighting, I usually do the opposite. Like if it's dark, I go for a lighter color. If it's light, I go for a little bit darker color to highlight it with. Like I use the orange because I had orange going in the center of the flowers. So that's why I dry brushed a little bit of orange on the flowers. And I thought, oh, I'd add just a little bit more to the leaves to make it pop. I really like this. I think it's turned out super cute. What do you guys, oh, you know what I want to do? A couple little dots down here. And I will show you, and I'm going to use this smaller, and I'm not going to do every letter. I'm just going to do the first letter just to show you. Of each word. And I should have started like when I close bridges, I usually go from here to here. And that would have been smarter because then I wouldn't have been chancing putting my hand in the paint, which is what I'm doing now. Okay, so we put little dots on there. Now what I did want to show you, oh, thank you, Karen, so much. Thank you, that's quite the compliment. I appreciate that. So there we go. So a little bit retro, liking the colors. Look at that. What do you girls think? Do you like it? And do you like the colors? I mean, there's so many color choices you could go with. And of course, the ones that April posts are always the nicest. Hers are really, really nice that she does in her write-ups. And then this is the Hello Sunshine. And we dotted all the letters on that. So, but I really, really like them. I think they're just very happy. They look very happy. So let's set that down. Now both of these stencils are on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. I did want to show you, now I'll show you real quick. I'm not going to do all my letters, but if you wanted to do something a little like when I was practicing early, so when I was talking about adding a little bit of folk art flair to it, so I did something like this. So I'm going to angle you down and I'm going to show you just on like this one here. How I did it. It was super easy. I just used a liner brush and I made little V's. So I got, where'd my paint go? So like this is a darker color. Of course I would have done this with the highlight color, but I just loaded my brush up with that paint. And then I made just like little kind of plop, plop, And so you could do that as well. And that would give it a little bit of like a folk art kind of look to the leaf, which is really cute. So see how I did that on the leaf? And I did it on these leaves, just practicing. And you just kind of load the brush up and kind of like that. And it, when you press it down, it makes the bee. But it looks really pretty. But it looks really cute on the leaves. But I didn't want to do that on my leaves. I debated about doing it. And then plus I got really worried. What do you coat it with so you can put food on it? Okay, so I use beeswax. I know there are other products you can use, but I use, let me find it. And there's something that my sister just got at Lowe's that I need to get. I forget what it's called. I don't know where my beeswax is. I'm trying to find it so I can show it to you. It's Dixie Belle's beeswax. Or no, it's Fusion. So, and there's all kinds of beeswax, but it's beeswax. Oh, there you go. Beeswax finish. I think you can put tongue oil on it, stuff like that. And the thing is, like, the paint may not be, so you put something on it that's food safe, like the beeswax. I don't know that the paint is. So probably if you're not cutting into the board, it might be okay. So Sherry put a food grade sealer on, she bought a food grade sealer on Amazon. How do you wash it coated with beeswax? You would just rinse it off. I've had to recoat mine because the beeswax does wash off. If this is something you're giving as a gift, maybe Sherry could post in the comments if she had a minute, the food grade sealer she used. But that's the whole thing. I can't guarantee that the paint is, you know, food safe if you're going to put a sealer over it. But yeah, I really like these. So, but there is something, I forget what it's called at Lowe's too. I'll have to ask my sister and I'll see if I can post it. But Sherry, if you think of it, post it and share it. So it looks like so far so good. We're not buffering. Here is the stencil that we're pulling today, but we're going to do a show and tell if we can get through that. We'll see. I haven't done a show and tell, I don't think, in a couple weeks because it has been so bad. So Butcher Block Oil 2. Butcher Block Oil. So everybody wants to know, Sherry. Inquiring minds want to know. So these are some I wanted to show last couple weeks, but I haven't had time. Well, because my lives have gone all wonky. Yes, hemp oil. I've used that before. I've never heard of wood honey, but that sounds good. So there's lots of things out there. So these are some ones that I picked up lately. I thought were really cute. We're going to do a little show and tell here. And this is number 6735, and it's a 5.5 inches. It's wash your hands. No, seriously. So that's super cute. And it's one of the minis. And then April just recently come out with a bunch of dog ones. And of course, this is very retro looking, I think. So it's less people, more dogs with the paw print. How cute is that? And this is number 10362, and it's a 5.5 inch. And let me get my other, if I get this out here, it's black, they'll show up a little bit better. So let me angle that down. So that's less people, more dogs, which I love the dog ones. Dog ones always do good. People love those. And then dogs are my favorite people. How cute is that? I think that might be from that batch, 10362. Dogs are my favorite people. And Rescue Mom, 10362. That's from the same batch of minis, and these are all 5.5 inches. Hi, Sheila. Thank you for sprinkling. Dog kisses fix everything. They sure do. Dog's kisses are so sweet. And that's number 10362. And then my future daughter-in-law asked if I had this one, and I asked April, and that's when she made all the dog ones up, but she wanted me to make, I haven't made it yet, but one of these for her, both of their dogs for their crates. Food grade mineral oil by 13 chefs. So that's what Sherry uses. This is Live, Bark, Love. And how cute is that? I love that one. So I have to make that. I have to get that done. I got to set that one to the side. I got my boards ready. I just haven't done it yet. And then I love this one. I'm gonna make this for my dad and put it in his room and see what he thinks when he sees it. Wash your hands, you dirty hippie. Not that he's a dirty hippie, but he's growing his hair now. So he's got some long hair going. So we're teasing him. He's going through his hippie stage. But this is number 6734, and all the hippie ones are funny. I have one I made a couple weeks ago, Take a Shower, You Dirty Hippie, and I have that in my bathroom. It's really cute, and it's got a little hand pointing to it. And let's see. Oh, these were really cute. These are new too that April did. If I can get them apart. So these are from the same batch, but they're just different ones. They're 10354. Yeah, 354. Like that's, oh, look, my husband's last nerve. I want to touch it. Oh, look, my wife's last nerve. I want to touch it. And then, because you know how to get on your significant other's nerves more than anybody. At least I do. You know what buttons to push, right? Oh, look, mom's last nerve. I want to touch it. And these would be cute on little hand towels too. This size is a nice size. This is extra small. This would fit perfect on some hand towels. This would be a cute little Mother's Day present for my grandsons to make their mom. 10354, and it's an extra small. And then this little carrot one, which I thought was super cute. McGregor's Carrot Patch, 25 cents each, open daily, and that's number 10373. This would be cute with like some little clay carrots or some little, the cardboard. You could use the corrugated cardboard like we did, I don't think I have it up anymore, on the snowman one with the little banner, and I made it out of corrugated cardboard. That would look super cute, cut in the size, because you could use some antiquing wax, and the ridges, it would look like little carrot. You know how they have the little lines in them. And I thought this was really cute. I got it in 2 different sizes because I really liked it. It was a background accent style, and this is number 9361. And I think it's just called like Little Sprigs or something like that. But those are really pretty, and those would be super cute on a lot of stuff. And then the crows. So this is, I love the crows. This is 10366, small, crow with the flow. Crow with the flow. Spackling. Yeah, spackling would be great too, Janet. And some little sprigs of something you could stick in the spackling for like the tops, the carrot tops. But crow with the flow. And then this one, and Angelia did this one and put it in the paint and share. I'm pretty sure it was Angelia. And it was so pretty. I want to make it, and I actually want to do the colors, how she made it. It looked so pretty. But this is Black Crow Coffee, and it reminds me of, like, you know, being in Boston. No offense if you're from Boston. My sister lived in Boston for a while, and I loved listening to people talk, the car, the caw and baw and stuff like that. Strong brew for slow mornings, dark at night, brewed at dawn, or dark as night. I can't even see. 10364. So these are all new ones. that I have used, or I haven't used, but I just got. And I've had them for a while, and like I said, the last 2 times I haven't been able to do any show and tell. So I want to show you again. So this is the garden. Oh, and so you can put a little dab of wood glue in here, but these just, you pre-drill the hole, and these just screw in here. And I didn't screw them in beforehand. Usually I do. I'm doing it too far up. So they just screw in here. They do just screw in here, really, really, truly. I'm just having trouble getting them started. So you just screw them in there, and you can put a little wood glue in the hole if you want. This is pretty snug. And I need to get some needle nose pliers or something to get them the rest of the way down. But so there's one, and you just screw it in until it's down there, and you always want to make sure they're pointing the same way. So, you know, like that, and then you hang them on the garden. And I have these little rubber stoppers too. You can get these on Amazon too. Let me see if I can. These help with any flags, but if you do the wooden, now it must be in the next drawer. If you do the wooden garden flags, these little things here, they're called garden flag stoppers, and you can get them on Amazon as well. And I'll link both of these in a separate post after the live. And you put them on your post, like right next to that, and it keeps it, if you put it on both sides, it keeps the flag from, you know how even the other garden flags, they can go back and forth on the pole, so it keeps it from wiggling around on the pole. I just put the, okay, that's okay. So I'll put the other hook in after the live, but that is our live, and both of those stencils are on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. You can save an additional 15% with my code SIGNSHACK, SIGNSHACK. And so you get a total of 35% off both stencils. Yes, reach out, message the Stencil Smith. Just message them after the show with your address. And Sherry's doing the drum roll. Thank you, April and Pete, for hosting. And we did not, there's no wood. I'm gonna knock on wood. We didn't buffer today, so yay. I was really worried about that. Yes, make sure to reach out to April with that. You can either email her at info@thestencilsmith.com or just message her on Facebook to the Stencil Smith, and she will, she'll be able to send it out to you. Was it send it out? I can't remember what we did last week. I think we did a stencil last week. So some weeks we did, it was a good day, yep. So April's spinning the wheel. Some days we do points. It landed on Janet Demmin. Janet Demmin, you are the winner, Demmin, and just make sure to go to the Stencil Smith and message them, and she'll get your prize sent out. Congratulations, Janet. Thank you all so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. You know, always taking your time to share the afternoon with us, or early afternoon. I don't know where you're at, but we really appreciate it. And come back next Tuesday for another fun live. And we will see you then. And we got through it. Yay. See you next week. Bye-bye.